Perkins, a P-Town Prince, a 17 Ward Troubadour, Uptown Renaissance man. But right now we on the other side of town, all the way downtown, in the lower 9th Ward at 1317 Tupelo Street at the House of Dance and Feathers. And right now we have the very esteemed Mr. Ronald Lewis, the curator of the House of Dance and Feathers. And I'll let you hear a little bit from Mr. Lewis.
Thank you for coming here, Chuck, because I always like to have people come here who want to continue telling our story from '05 up to now, and what it's going to take to bring our city back in the various parts of our community. What I experienced on the good side is how people embrace what I was doing. You know, people, as I spoke on TV and things, talking about the rebuilding of my community and how we wasn't going to give up the land, you know, and people had something to connect to. So what they did was they started bringing items here. Like a lady brought a washboard to me that came from a man who was 96 years old.
Oh, wow.
You know, one of my grandchildren, uncle, those cold drinks and bleach bottles over there, he dug them up at Audubon Park doing some excavating.
Oh, okay.
And you know, they got many moons on them. So people just feel that this is ours. You know, we got something to connect to.
Right.
And you know, I just use that as keeping that message out there about the rebuilding of the Lower 9 and how we had near 70% home ownership down here. And when the world heard about it, they said, that many black people own homes?
Right.
And we said, yes. You know, our people came off of these sugarcane plantations and came out of these cotton fields, and they bought land in the big city of New Orleans, very cheap. And they brought the quality of life down here that was different from across the city. And from that point on, I'm a product of this. And this is why I proudly say that our community gonna rebuild one house and one family at a time. And I use the culture, which is the fabric of our life here in the city of New Orleans, as the vehicle to put the other message out. We have growth, it's slow growth, but when everybody left here, they would look to be gone 2 or 3 days.
Right.
Now gone into 4 years, over 100,000 our people are still not back in the city of New Orleans. So with those who are migrating back and finding a way to rebuild their lives are making it happen. And you know, our city is being rebuilt off the back of the people who love this city.
That's right.
Not the people who are the chambers of commerce or whatever, but the people who will go out there to the second line, the people who will go to the various festivals here in the city and just do the everyday things that we love. For my community, I always tell people it's one house and one family at a time, because the Lower 9th Ward was the tsunami of the United States.
It was the epicenter.
Yeah, when that water came through here, my home had 14 feet of water up to the rooftop. I lost everything that me and my wife had accumulated over that 30+ years.
I got you.
And with everybody being in the same boat, we just been picking up each other, trying to make it happen. You know, Brad Pitt got his Make It Right program. Then they got the Global Green Project down here. And, you know, I'm even championing a cause about how they built the musician village over there on the old school site. So we got an old school site here in the Lower 9, which I think Habitat would be a great impact if they cross this water.
I got
you. And provide affordable housing for people of this community to come back. I tell people, the streets of New Orleans talk to you.
Yeah, it does.
Because, you know, we live in the streets of New Orleans. Our homes is our bedding place, but we get out of them doors every chance we get, whether it's barbecue in the yard, following the second line, or just going to some outer social event. And you feel that. You know, you feel the people embracing each other all the time, you know, and using these New Orleans events as a gathering point. Many people come into my museum who grew up in New Orleans, who lived in the Garden District, lived in Metairie, had never been to a second line because of social events. But what they tell me is when their grandparents and their parents told them about when they went to the Zulu parade. But it was something that wasn't talked about. But it was done, you know, because it was like being taboo. But the next generation who's coming out and they being like Columbus, you know, they didn't discover the second line.
Right.
And now here they are.
They didn't realize how wonderful.
That's right. That yes, it's our creation, but it's a people event. With the House of Dance and Feathers, I incorporated my life of the culture, from being the president of the Big Nine Social Pleasure Club, being a former Mardi Gras Indian thing, and I took the House of Dance and Feathers and made it a cultural education center for those who want to come here and want to know the truth. Because all these cultural anthropologists and things come to New Orleans, and they be Columbus. We didn't discover a rare culture in the city of New Orleans that's been here existing. And then they want to write about it and things. And fortunately, with my book that just came out, give you an insight perspective about this great culture and why we do it and why it's so embedded in our life and things. So we such on-hand people. When you see the streamers, as we call them, the parade fans and the umbrellas and all of that, because we like to create. We like to put our hands on things and say, look at us. And when you look at that history through the Caribbean, through Latin America, all the way back to the African coast, everything just came through here.
Right.
You know, when you look at the Northside Skull and Bones, you're looking at tradition in Haiti. You know, you're looking at tradition in Africa. You know, when you look at the umbrellas, you know, of the Ivory Coast, when the chiefs come out on a certain day and wear one color, and everybody in the tribe wear that color, and they make these beautiful umbrellas with symbols on top that have some representation. Well, you find this right here in the city of New Orleans, because we are the most African city in the United States of America. We are descendants of these people.
That's right.
That came off of those slave ships, that brought all this food and culture and everything to this city. You know, so through that, we, you know, when these other people come here, the first thing they say, I've seen this some way. And as they go back, they realize when they was in the Caribbean and seen a street festival or the parades in Cuba, whatever, then they have that connection.
I got you.
But and the connection is those boats that came through that passage here to the port city of New Orleans.
Let me ask you this question right here. Like you were a Mardi Gras Indian
Yes.
as well. So I guess Mardi Gras for Mardi Gras Indian, that's a big day.
Yeah,
right?
you know, that's a day, you know, that we put all that effort and money that we don't have, and to make one of them costumes, to walk out your door, and for the people of your neighborhood to tell you what the beautiful work that you've done.
See, and that's what I wanted to ask. What I wanted to do is just, you know, like assume, like it's like the people listen don't know anything about Mardi Gras Indians.
Yeah.
Take me through it like step by step. Like I guess the first thing, you know, start with like you getting your suit together all the way to Mardi Gras, what you do that day.
I tell you what, this right here, a Dogstown style of Mardi Gras Indian, is the beginning of a Mardi Gras Indian suit. From that first idea you have. Yes, that's the first idea you have of how you want to design the suit. And from you creating that first image, and then you move from there to filling in the blanks.
Okay.
Right? And from filling in the blanks, you know.
So I guess on this one you didn't start doing a
Right.
So how you get the beads on there?
With a thread needle. It's a passion.
Okay.
When you turn it around,
Oh,
yes,
Okay.
you know, the almighty thread needle.
Is there a patch like this that's 100 that's completely done? So, this
Yes.
one right here?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Let's hold it up right next to each other.
well, I'm going to show you my book cover.
That's the cover.
This is the cover of my book.
About what's the time involved for this?
Well,
just to get to this
well,
point.
your commitment. You know, saying, well, I got to get this piece finished. So once you put down that first bead, then you know that.
About how much time do you think it'll take us to do?
If you're serious, a month.
Just for this part right here.
Just to do this.
No. I'm talking about exactly what we have, not completed, but just the beads and the stuff we have on here right
Yeah. Well, with the outlining. If you're serious, 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now for this one right here.
For this.
This is a little.
For this, serious beading, take about a month and a half.
Okay.
You know, but see this particular piece here, I feel like, you know, just like any artist, that is one piece that is your signature piece of work. And when I did this piece in 1992, which took me about 5 months.
Oh wow! Just for this one piece, right?
Yes, because it was so intricate, and you know, art is a vision, and I had visions of the colors that I wanted in it. So I had to go out and find the color beads, and you know, get certain parts started. And as the vision and the spirit take control of you, then you end up with this.
So for this suit, 1992.
Yeah.
Let's assume that the Mardi Gras was going to be in February.
Yeah.
So you probably started working on a suit at what time?
Well, I started like about maybe in March.
Like the March, or so you got a good 11-month,
That's right.
11-month run. Okay.
You know, and it's a commitment. You know, because
if it's just 6
you know
months for this.
when you say that a commitment, that means your financial commitment, your time of all. Because I was working for the transit system on the streetcar tracks. So when I got off out of that grit and dirt, I would come on, take a shower, eat, and sort of 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and had to be to work at 6 o'clock. But that was a commitment of completion.
I got you.
You know, that target date, the Mardi Gras date. And while I'm working on a piece, I got other friends who working on pieces for me. And say a month before Mardi Gras, we start bringing all this stuff together and make it happen.
So, okay, so about a month, that's when you start bringing the feathers and
Yeah.
and add everything.
Right.
So okay, only you know, because I was never Mardi Gras Indian, even though
Yeah.
I love the culture. The only reference I have is maybe something like Christmas. I know as a kid,
Yeah.
you know, Christmas Day, I can hardly sleep at night,
you know
or
what?
even a big football game. You know what I'm saying?
And
So you get that same kind of like rush, like.
It's such a rush that, you know, for you to walk out of that door and you didn't put all this together, you saying to yourself your work is beautiful. But for see, when you stand out there and all these people with their children and everybody said, oh, look how beautiful you are. There's a great job you've done. And then that feeding off the people energy, it would bring you into that ritual battle of walking 5 and 6 miles with all this weight on to tell that next Mardi Gras Indian, you didn't do your homework. You know?
Wait, well, that Mr. Lewis is talking about right here, the House of Dance and Feathers, and it's the real deal. I'm gonna have to get myself a copy. I had a chance to look through it. If you are interested in the culture of New Orleans and Mardi Gras Indians and social aid and pleasure clubs, Skull and Bone Gang, I highly recommend getting this book right here.
He said, finally, a book came from the inside, a person who done lived this entire culture.
There you go.
And this is what people feel. You who looked in the book, that read in the book, say, oh, we never had a book so in depth about our cultural life. And like I tell people, it's not my book, it's the people's book, you know. And, you know, that's why, like I said, I'm honored for y'all to come here and to be a messenger.
Explain to people what social aid and pleasure clubs are.
Well, it goes back to our benevolent society here in the city of New Orleans. With the Young Men Olympia, it's the oldest benevolent, Peruvian benevolent in the city of New Orleans, well over 120 years. Wow. And what the benevolent did out of the church was serve the community. You know, and if you belonged to the benevolent, then you had a chance to have an honorable burial.
I see.
You know, because the benevolent had burial plots. And they serve the community through social aid, through trying to help feed families and do whatever. So things changed over from the benevolent to the social aid and pleasure club, which was more festive.
I got
You
you.
know, benevolent wore their black and white, put on their parades and things, and went back to the church. But we still hold the church in high regard. But once we get our blessing thing, then we bring on the big party. We stop at every happy spot and get happy. The followers get happy. And when those 4 hours are over, everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Yes.
So well, since you've been like a Mardi Gras Indian and you've been a member of the Social Aid Pleasure Club, did you start the Big Nine?
I helped found it.
You helped found it
along with Edgar Jacobs.
Well, now, in terms of getting ready for like one of those big events as a Mardi Gras Indian, getting ready for that big parade, you know, with the Big Nine that's going to march across that canal. What are there similarities? What's differences?
The similarity is the preparedness, but what makes the difference, making a Mardi Gras Indian suit is an individual thing.
I got you.
You know, where preparing for your parade and your group is a group thing as a whole. You know, you got to determine the clothes you're gonna wear and get everybody to agree upon that color and all of that,
right.
and then put the whole package together.
Well, I bet you they get about 20 dudes to agree on the same color suit. That might not be as easy as it looks.
Tell you, sometimes you have to become a dictator for the best interest of the club.
I got you.
You know, and you can say, well, I'm cutting it off here, and this is what we're gonna do. Now pay your parade taxes and everything, and let the show go on. You know, but that's New Orleans. And like I was saying, when the Social Aid and Pleasure Club took over, in a sense, that we still do the social things except we using the events of modern times. School supply giveaways and giving out food baskets and these sort of things, and making social statements. You know, that we're not just a party group. When you look at the House of Dance and Feathers, you come to a whole table of educational literature. You know, not just letting people know, yes, we make these great costumes, we dance on the street, but look at here. Look at the education that sits on this table. When you come in here, you're going to look at all this great stuff, and then you're going to end up right over here saying, I didn't know about this. And this is what the House of Dance and Feathers do. It being an education center.